British overseas territory at the southern end of the Iberian Peninsula, strategic access to the Mediterranean from the Atlantic. The currency code for the Gibraltar Pounds is GIP and the currency symbol is PS. The most popular exchange rate for the Gibraltar Pound is the GIP to EUR rate. The Gibraltar Pound is the official money used in Gibraltar, a British overseas territory. It was introduced in 1927 and has crept into the list of the world's highest currencies. The Gibraltar Pound is the same size as the US dollar, but differs in its banknote design. In 2013, it became the most expensive currency in the world, and it still stands here. The US dollar is known as the world's business currency. Its value is determined by the US dollar index, which rates the dollar against a basket of currencies. Used because it is a national currency and a world reserve currency. In July 1944, delegates from 44 nations gathered in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to create an international monetary system and choose the dollar as the world's reserve currency. While some use the US dollar to measure the value of their money against other currencies, others use it as an acceptable alternative to their own equivalent denominations. In addition, the value of the national currency cannot grow constantly. If the national currency is expensive, it means that inflation in the country is controlled. The most expensive currency in the world is the Kuwaiti dinar. In practice, there were practically no cases in which the value of a currency rose steadily. For a country, the constant strengthening of the currency is not beneficial as the population starts actively saving money rather than spending it. For example, the high value of the currency only means that inflation processes in the country are under control. In practice, there were practically no cases in which the value of a currency was constantly increasing. The reasons may be different. For a country, the constant strengthening of the currency is not profitable, because the population starts to actively save money instead of spending it. The high value of the currency only says that the inflation processes in the country are under control. Many economic factors affect the highest currency of other currencies. Theoretically, any denomination can gain value. A country can change some factors, such as import and export, by developing a new economic policy. Other critical factors that can affect the monetary strength of a currency are employment rates, trade deficits, and currency reserves. Despite many factors affecting one currency, a government only has to focus on a small list of economic factors: interest rates, inflation, current account balance, and economic growth. Knowing the most profitable exchange rate in the world takes away all financial worries. To give you a better idea of the world's highest currency values, in 2019 we compiled a list of the world's highest currencies. You can compare these currencies with the exchange rate of India for a better judgment. You should also remember to exchange your money before you leave, so as not to stick to a currency that no bank abroad really wants. Travelers and locals most often pay for everything on their credit or debit card. From small food stalls to large shopping malls, Iceland basically accepts card payments everywhere. So it may be worth it just to pack a little money and pay with plastic. Due to fluctuating currency exchange rates, all prices in this article are listed in their original ISK format. What you should keep in mind when traveling to Iceland is the indisputable fact that this currency has little or no value outside our shores. Its total value is set by the Icelandic Central Bank, and very few banks outside Iceland usually carry or exchange it. You can exchange your banknotes at the airport, but the exchange rate is cheaper if you do so in a bank in Reykjavik City. Banknotes become more valuable due to historical context, records, or rarity. From 1,368 banknotes to rare £1,000,000 banknotes, you'll be surprised how much can be sold at auctions. Read on to find out which banknotes are the 10 most expensive in the world. The Kuwaiti dinar is officially the highest currency in the world today. Introduced in mid-1961, the Kuwaiti dinar has become the world's most valuable currency. As the currency of many countries around the world sinks each year, the Kuwaiti dinar continues to appreciate. Sending money to Kenya from the UK is cheaper than shipping to another country in East Africa. Right next door, however, Tanzania is the second most expensive country in Africa, where money is being sent to Eritrea from the UK, and that costs twice as much as Kenya. Higher volumes reduce the cost of remittances, but also digital ways to reduce the need for agents in both the UK and Africa. Last Frontier is constantly breaking new ground when it comes to high living costs. Many Alaskans estimate their unique lifestyle and the rough size of their state to be at least twice as high as the lower 48 living costs.